Yeah, hello again to another episode of Tech Talk. And as you know, we always have something interesting to talk about. And today I have my good friend Robert here, Robert Van Name. How are you?
Yes, good, thank you.
And he is with the Porsche Club, Space Coast Porsche Club. And I invited him today because I actually used to be a member for a long time. Had a couple Porsches, and also we're going to talk about technology in the cars and how things have changed. How are you?
Good,
Good,
thanks.
wonderful. So yeah, we've had, as we all know, I mean even with ACT computers, sometimes we work with some car technology. We just we work with a lot of car dealerships in town to work with their equipment, their measuring equipment, diagnostic machines and stuff like that. But it always fascinates me, especially about Porsche and German manufacturers, how they have advanced throughout the years of including computerized systems, ECUs, and everything else in their cars. And what kind of car do you have?
Well, I have a 2020 Porsche Taycan 4S,
Wow, nice
which
car.
is their electric car. It has two motors, and then of course with Porsche everything is optional, so it
Yes.
has the larger battery.
You did get seats, right, with it?
Yes,
Yeah, okay, good.
yes. And you have to pay extra for the air compressor in case you get a flat, because
Oh,
there's no
yeah.
spare.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah. So Rob drives something called a Porsche Taycan, and I got very lucky one time and got to test drive one at the dealership in Melbourne. Actually, I would highly recommend test driving one of those cars one of those days at Porsche Melbourne. Just a little shout out to them. And that car was amazing. Now that was, I believe, a Turbo S I drove.
yes, that was actually, I mean, if you looked up the build sheet, it was, one of the lines was like a delivery, a demo car.
Yeah, beautiful.
But
Very fast.
everybody in the club drove that car.
Yeah, scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, they're very fast.
But the naming convention was a little weird, huh? It still is. Everybody's talking about it. The
Well,
Turbo.
yeah, but the Turbo S has a larger front motor and a larger rear motor and a larger inverters, which
Right.
convert the power.
Yeah, more power, but
And
no turbo though.
no turbo, but
Right.
they introduced the fanciest models
Right.
first.
It's, turbo is always the fastest model.
Yeah,
in
and that has the carbon fiber brakes and
Right.
all kinds of stuff.
yeah, it
All
actually makes sense because even the 911s, they have been turbos for a long time now, even though they don't
Yes.
say it.
Right,
Right.
right. Yeah, I guess the pollution laws in Europe are driving them
Right.
to that.
Yeah, I saw your car up front, nice silver, beautiful car. So, what kind of range do you get on that? On
Well,
such a
you
thing?
can theoretically get, it delivers more than its EPA rating, which is probably barely over 200 miles.
Uh-huh.
But, I drive it mostly around town, in all honesty,
Right.
and I charge it at home, which is very convenient. I have 37 solar panels on my roof, so
Oh, wow.
I can't even tell in my electric bill that I have an electric car.
Nice.
And then, of course, the car came with 3 years of 30-minute free charging sessions at Electrify America stations. So
Okay.
a lot of those stations are at like Sam's Clubs, and every 50 miles or so on the highway. And
Yeah, so we're all very familiar with other manufacturers, like the most prominent electric manufacturer out there is obviously Tesla.
yes,
And then of course everybody else started making electric cars. Mercedes is now having out the
Yes.
EQS. That's pretty
Yes.
amazing too.
Yeah, and Tesla's opening up their charging network. I'm sure you saw the
Yeah, I
agreement
saw that. That's
with
quite
Ford and
interesting.
then GM and now Rivian. Supposedly in Europe they opened it up to foreign non-Tesla cars, but
Right.
the issue is the connector, and they have to refit some of the stations with the whatever they call CCS connector. I
Right.
forget the name of the connector, but
So you have to have a bag full of extra connectors with you?
well, I have an adapter for lower speed charging. If you go to a hotel, a lot of hotels have destination chargers, so that's what I have that for.
Okay.
Not that I've ever used it, but it allow you to charge from the Tesla. It adapts.
Right.
So
Yeah, I was quite impressed by the Taycan. I mean, especially interior. The design of the dashboard, very sleek and very
Oh, yeah,
every-
yeah, well,
screens integrated.
Yes, they got rid of many buttons. Everything is basically a screen. It does have an on-off button,
Yes.
right, on the left side,
Yeah.
true to Porsche
Uh-huh.
fashion. But basically, when you get in the car and you don't even have to put your foot on the brake, it'll boot up.
Right.
So,
Boot up. Right. That's a different term for cars now.
well,
isn't it?
it's interesting because, it has the big battery for motive power,
Uh-huh.
then it has a small 12-volt battery that does boot up everything.
Mm-hmm.
And when the cars were first delivered, there was a software bug that would allow that little battery to go dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I'm sure you're familiar with the boot, at getting into the battery of a 911 that has an electric trunk release.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's the same procedure on the Taycan.
Right.
Find the fuse box, put 12 volts on a special pin, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can release the trunk and then get at the battery.
Yeah. I mean, all manufacturers obviously are going through the infancy now of developing all these cars. I mean, we had regular cars now for more than 100 years.
Yes.
We got those figured out. But,
Well, there's a lot of software in
oh
these
yeah,
cars.
updates.
And,
I just heard about, I think it was Hyundai having a major problem where most of the new cars are having some kind of charging issue. They just
Oh.
released. Yeah.
yeah, well, they for years, I guess they've had a theft problem where people can steal the cars.
Mm-hmm.
So some insurance companies refuse to cover them.
Wow.
But I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know whether they fixed that or not. But
Right. I'm also quite amazed about new cars now, how you can have the app on your phone. You can be connected to your
Yes.
phone. Do you have that enabled
yes,
on your
yes,
car?
yes.
Okay.
The Porsche app.
The Porsche app.
And
Now, is that optional?
well,
Yes.
no. I mean, it's free.
Yeah, yeah.
But it lets you can do stuff with the car remotely. You can, if you want, you can set it up. You can cool the car before you get in it. You can check the state of the battery. We get some over-the-air updates because the car has basically a cell phone connection to Porsche back in Germany somewhere.
Wow.
And so simple-minded updates like nav stuff comes over the air.
Right.
The heavy-duty stuff you have to bring to the dealer. Like
Right.
earlier this year, I got the massive software update that took like 3 days.
Wow.
Sometimes it doesn't go well, and some of the modules get burnt out. It's
But
frightening.
there's no blue screen of death, right? You don't get that one.
Well,
No.
the one you have to look out for in the Taycan is the red screen of death, which
Red
is
screen?
the electrical fault.
Oh.
And then that is sometimes triggered by a failure of one of the battery. It's a pouch cell battery, so there's a whole bunch of these cells. And if the car detects, it has a battery management system, so if it detects some malfeasance there, and you can't, you have to call for assistance. It won't let
Right.
the car operate.
So there's lots of safety measures built
Yeah,
in, right?
and then, it's painful as they try to troubleshoot it because the battery can be, dropped from the car, and you can actually repair the offending
cells.
cells.
Right.
But from what I understand, there's only one guy who knows how to do that, and
Oh.
he's in Germany.
That sounds familiar.
So half the time they just change the whole battery pack.
Right.
But that's the availability of that is tough because that interferes with production and whatnot.
Right.
And of course, when the war started in Ukraine, all the wiring harnesses were made in Ukraine.
I remember.
So they
yes.
had to. They wound up switching. The same supplier got his system going in. I forget which country it is, but another country that's not at war.
Maybe France or something.
No, it wasn't France. It was.
Wow.
I don't know. I'll think of it in a few
See
minutes.
that?
But yeah, everything is the
Yeah, of course, if you look at
supply
it-
chain.
If you look at a car's window sticker, it says exactly how much percentage from this country.
Yes,
So
and all kinds of stuff.
obviously a German car is not 100% German.
Right.
So
It goes to the low bidder.
exactly. But yeah, it's quite amazing. When this was so funny what you just mentioned to me about that one guy who can work on these things. that
Yeah.
reminds me when I had my old Porsche, I had the 928, which I sold. I had that car for more than 20 years, and that also was one of these beautiful cars, but it's only certain people can work on it.
Yeah,
You don't want to dare somebody else touching this thing, otherwise you
Yeah.
will never get back together.
Well, and it's even more exciting because you know, Porsche has their special testers and all that stuff that the aftermarket guys, they did not update their system, so they can't work on it. I came to need my 2 year update, or not update, but it wants to be looked after in 2
Maintenance,
years.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So I did most of the work myself. It's just a battery. What is it? The the brake fluid has to be changed every
Okay.
2 years, right?
Okay.
Which is trivial.
Right.
And then
Like any car, right.
yeah, and then you have to change what is it for the
Differential?
no, they don't talk about that, but it's the
Coolant?
no, the coolant. It's the for the in the what is it? I should think of this. It's the
Don't worry about it. It's one of the fluids you need to change.
well, no, it's for the it's for the in the brake in the yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
No,
But,
moving on to that topic, but that's, I mean, every car needs maintenance. Like, it doesn't matter what you have. It's
yeah.
electric or.
So I cut a deal with them.
Yeah.
I proved to them that I had done all the work because
Uh-huh.
I had all the
Right.
information, and then they just let me do it, and they did an inspection. So
Right. I mean, yeah, I mean, most manufacturers, what they're doing is they're making it so that
You can't-
you cannot take it to somebody else
Yeah.
for specific things.
That's
right.
exactly how it is on this
Right.
car
Right.
because
It's kind of like an Apple, you know. You have
Yeah.
to take it to Apple many times to get
Yeah.
worked on it.
Yeah.
We work on Apple, but
yeah, there's only a limit that you can do.
right, right, yeah, yeah. I also want to mention that about the Porsche Club itself. I was a member for many, many years, and probably become a member again in the future, hopefully.
Yes.
But we want to talk about that, what that actually is. Many people don't realize how beneficial it is to be part of the Porsche Club, right?
Yes. Well, you learn about the car and taking care of it,
Right.
or if you don't want to take care of it, what you need to do to
Mhm.
get somebody to take care of it.
Right.
And,
And you also get to have some great friendships, which I enjoyed over the years.
Yes,
So a nice
yes,
camaraderie and
yes.
comparing cars, and it's not just about showing off the cars. It's about actually doing things together, and also learning more about the cars.
yes, especially if they misbehave.
Exactly, exactly.
But
Yeah. So the Porsche Club. This is the Space Coast Porsche Club. And how do people get a hold of that? If they want to get more information, can they go to a website?
well,
Yeah.
there is the website.
So we have it actually on the screen. It's
Okay.
spacecoastpca.org, O-R-G. You can go right on there, and
The
get some
other
information.
thing is that the dealer is if you're buying a new car, he signs you up to the Porsche Club.
Right. Yeah.
So-
When you go with like Porsche Melbourne, for example, which
Yes.
you recommend,
Yes.
you get a 1 year membership with it, right?
Yes. Yes.
And that's
then
used and new cars, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes he'll even renew the thing.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah.
But,
It's cool. I mean, I was a member a long time, and I had a lot of fun. Go to a lot of events, car races, autocross, right? You get to learn how to
Yes.
handle your car, really
Yes.
know what's capable of.
Yes. Well, and, I mean, right now we have the what is it? The you have the autocross, right?
Right,
That's what they're doing right now.
Right.
Usually every month.
Let me explain what autocross is in case our audience doesn't know. Autocross is basically, a very safe car education, between your friends. You basically compete between cones. You just have a set up racetrack, and you try to get through that as quick as you can. So it's very safe,
Yes.
very entertaining, and it also
Yes.
doesn't really hurt the car at all. So,
Yes, yes.
so yeah, it's not like you're going around the racetrack going 100 miles an hour for a
Yeah,
day.
well, yeah. Yeah, some of the stuff like, at Sebring or whatever,
Mhm.
can be very exciting too, but,
Yes, of course, the club racing too. I never
Yeah.
was able to do that, but
yeah.
some of my friends did it. It's
Yeah,
quite amazing
yeah,
what you can do.
I did a few things, but it was hard because,
Right,
people wind up chasing you.
right, right, exactly.
So,
Right. Well, anyway, we've been doing this for a long time. ECT computers. I had a Porsche for a long time too, and I also want to. I've also advertised with the magazine. What is it called again? The magazine you have?
well, they have
Magazine of the Space Coast.
yes, that's, what is it? EV,
Escape Velocity.
Escape Velocity.
Very
right,
nice magazine.
right,
they publish.
right,
They publish. We
right.
used to advertise on them.
Yes.
But also, what I would like to say for my audience, because we would like to support our Porsche guys. If you mention that you're a member of the Porsche Club, you get 10% off labor in my business. And even though we are based in Vero Beach, it doesn't matter. We go all the way up to Melbourne, past that for service calls and
Oh,
also service.
okay,
So,
cool.
Yeah. So we do that also. But
Yeah.
anyway, um, anything else you want to say about the Porsche Club?
Well, I don't
Putting
know.
on the spot.
We recently did. We had at Porsche Melbourne. They did the They did tires,
Oh.
which I actually didn't think anybody really cared, but like 50 people showed up, and they wanted to know about using various the various things that you need to use for how fast the tires are.
The
and
ratings
whatnot.
and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
more educational.
Well, they cared about using the how fast they go, and whether the implementation is they want to know about how fast the tires are and whatnot. So,
Right, yeah, it's very important. Obviously, tires are
But,
the only thing connecting to the road. And
yes,
so,
yes.
don't be cheap buying tires.
Yes.
Buy good ones.
Well, that's the trick.
Right,
You want
exactly.
to make sure that it's also Porsche approved
Mm-hmm.
tires, because if you buy it without the Porsche recommended tire, then you can use them. But then if you ever wanted to replace a Porsche at the dealer or something, you have to replace the tires. basically.
With approved ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Like normally it's Pirelli or Michelin, right?
Yeah,
One of the
yeah,
two.
yeah. There's
Yeah,
a whole
yeah.
bunch of different approved ones.
Right,
but,
exactly. Well, anyway, we're getting to the end of the show. And I thank you very much, Rob, for
Okay.
coming.
All
Thank
right.
you very
Thank
much.
you.
And I'll see you soon.
Okay.
And also, guys, we just launched a new website, www.actcomp.us. Brand new, widescreen. Everything's updated for your shopping pleasure. So everything we have in our local shop, we also have online. Go visit and take a look. And till next time, thank you. Bye bye.